Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we are in the second episode of Powering MCE with Agentforce. So in this series, we'll be discussing about how to integrate Agentforce with Marketing Cloud engagement. And we already covered our first episode where we discussed about install package, named credential and external credentials. So if you're interested to know more about it, please go and check the previous video. With that said, let's move on to today's session or today's episode where we'll be discussing about the next step. A quick introduction. I'm Aishwarya, working as solution architect in entity data, and I'm a Salesforce marketing champion and I lead marketer group Bengaluru. I'm an active community speaker and an SFMC enthusiast and 8-time Salesforce certified consultant. I also actively speak in dreaming events and have spoken in 2 dreaming events so far. And I'm an author for SFMC Stories, which is my own website. And these are my social handles. If you are interested to follow me, well, please do follow here. And my trailer profile on the top. So, with that said, let's move on. As all of you know, I usually start with a quote. So, today's quote is: some people worry that artificial intelligence will make us feel inferior. But then, anybody in his right mind should have an inferiority complex every time he looks at a flower. This quote was given by Alan Kay, and I felt this is the most beautiful quote that I have come across related to artificial intelligence. As we are discussing about artificial intelligence, I thought of giving an quote related to AI. And thank you everyone for making time and coming to this channel to view this particular video. And hope you're not going to waste your time uh, continuing this video. Thank you once again. And today we'll be discussing about the introduction of SFMC stories, then the sessions covered so far and what is pending. Then today's main topic is we'll be discussing about Apex to create email without Agentforce. So SFMC Stories, founded in 2023, provides details on Salesforce Marketing Cloud engagement from basics with features, implementation, use cases, and best practices. I also provide some ideas on Marketing Cloud Next or Agentforce marketing as well, and have some articles around Data Cloud as well, as Data Cloud plays a major role for Agentforce marketing. Then in future, you can expect some study guides, certification related, and we do have some updates now, some retiring certifications as well. If you have not checked, maybe we have around 24 Salesforce certification which will be retiring by February 2027. So if you are planning any certification, please do go and check that article and then plan your certification accordingly. Maybe not the major marketing cloud engagement certifications are retiring, but if you are from account engagement background, then account engagement consultant is retiring, and we will have the new certification. Most probably the marketing cloud next related consultant certification coming up next year. Again, that's just an assumption that that would be a consultant certification, but we'll see what certification it would be. Then this is my site URL. So if you're interested, please do check my blogs. Sessions covered so far. So this is our first episode where we discussed about install package, external credential setup, and name credential setup, and we did do a testing connection testing. Uh, Today we'll be discussing about Apex class to create email without Agentforce. And again, some of the pending topics that we are having is like next we'll be covering prompt builder, then Apex invocable method, then the flow setup, then finally the Agentforce configuration and Agentforce deployment. Okay, so first we'll understand what is this topic all about, Apex to create email without Agentforce. So how many of you here know Apex class? I feel some of you from Salesforce background, or maybe people who know Salesforce at least little bit, might be aware of Salesforce, but otherwise it will be difficult for a people from marketing background to know more about Apex class. So first we need to understand what is Apex class and how people use it. Um, right. So this is a programming language built by Salesforce. So as we have AMP and Marketing Cloud engagement, like that, Apex is a programming language which is a proprietary language to Salesforce. It allows developers to add custom business logic to CRM. It will have some standard fields, some layouts, and flows and validation rule. Apex Code is building a completely custom app from scratch because the App Store doesn't have exactly what you need. So these type of things can also be done with Apex class, and you will be leveraging integers, string variables, and as variables and decimal, boolean, all these things. On top of it, we have something known as classes and methods. So we'll understand what is class. Class is like a container. Let's say you have a recipe book. Within recipe book, there will be a set of instructions to get together, right? That is actually a class. And method. Method is like an individual recipe inside the book. It is a specific action that takes inputs and delivers an outcome. If you are from computer science background, you might have come across programming languages like C, C++, where you might have come across these terminologies like class, method. More or less the same concept here as well. So if we take an analogy, let's say you have a class called kitchen. Inside it, you have a method called make coffee. When you call the make coffee method, it executes the steps to grind beans, boil water, and pour the drink. So this is actually how the class and method work together. So class acts like a container, which is kitchen, and method is make coffee, which is a particular task within kitchen. Okay, so I'd leave it here as an introduction, and we'll move forward to the next step. All right. Till now, we discussed about how to establish connection between CRM and Marketing Cloud engagement. Now we will look into an example like without Agentforce, how we can create an email via Apex class. So first of all, we need to log into Marketing Cloud for that, and we need to open Content Builder. You can directly go to Content Builder and open it, or you can also enter Email Studio and open the content section. I'll take this approach. So here, what we need to do is we need to first of all identify a folder. Okay, so I have already created a folder by name folder X. So it's up to you. You can name it however you want, and based on the business requirement, you can name your folders. And what I did, I created one subfolder also, and this folder was generated via agent, or sorry, not via agent, it was via Apex class. Okay, similarly, we can also create a folder via Apex using API. And within that particular folder, you can create an email of your own. Okay, so here we'll be creating mostly all HTML emails. And for that, we need two things. One is maybe the folder number, right? Like what is the ID for that particular folder? If you can see directly, you might not see the folder number here. Even in the URL, you might not see the folder ID. And also, if you just hover over that particular section as well, you might not see the folder ID showing up. So one easy approach to get the folder ID is to choose this show folders. And after that, here in the gear icon, what you can see at the right side, you just need to choose ID. So if you select ID, you will get the ID. right? So you need to copy this and use this in Apex code. So whatever email you're going to create, you can create within this folder, or even if you are creating a folder within this folder X, you can also use this as a parent ID. Okay. So now maybe I might not explain much on how to create a folder, but we will use a folder ID and we'll try to create email within that folder. So for now, this campaign, marketing campaign 2026 is the folder that we are targeting. And this is the ID of focus. Okay. So for now, if I open this marketing campaign 2026, you can see one particular email. And this is just a simple email with just 2 lines of code. You can also elaborate it and you can bring in a proper HTML code with all banners and content, CTA, everything included. But for now, just for the testing purpose, I've kept it very minimum. Now let's jump into CRM or STO here. Here you need to use developer console to create an Apex class. Okay, so just navigate to setup, and then in setup you can in the same section as the gear icon, wherever you see setup, you can see developer console. Just click on this and this should open a dialog box or a new editor section for you. Okay. Okay, hope developer console is visible now. So here you need to create a class of your own. You can create one new class or you can use an existing class. So for now, what I'll do, I have already created a class for this purpose. Maybe I'll use that same class. Here you can see public class MCE email creator. So I'll be using the same class for this particular purpose. Okay, so what we are doing in this classes, we are creating an email in that particular folder which I mentioned earlier, right? So what we are doing here, we need to use this particular folder ID, whatever we saw earlier. So if you're creating a new folder, you need to change this particular folder ID with that particular value. And I'll explain the code what this is actually doing. So you need to split this into multiple parts. So first of all, this is an Apex class. So we need to understand what is Apex class first. Similar to how we have AmpScript, SSJS in Marketing Cloud engagement, similarly, Apex is a coding language that is used by Salesforce, and it's a proprietary language as well. So this is a strongly typed object-oriented programming language. Okay, so this will have a syntax similar to Java. You will have a public class, void, static. So these type of keywords, whichever you are seeing, that is related to, like this looks like a object programming language, object oriented programming language, right? So there are some Salesforce specific classes as well, like HTTP request, HTTP response. So these are all built in to the Salesforce platform to handle web connections. Okay, here, as you know, we are doing server to server connection, that is Salesforce to Marketing Cloud connection. So that's where we are using this HTTP request and HTTP response. Okay, so maybe JavaScript, it runs on browser, but Apex runs entirely on Salesforce servers, and that's why it is a proprietary language to Salesforce. And as it is a Salesforce language, it is having some governor limits. Okay, how we call, like we have API call limits, right? Similar to that, we have governor limits here, like 100 callout can be done, which prevents one piece of code from hogging all the server resource. Okay, so if it is a very complex code, it might hog your entire server resource as well. Okay, now we'll get into the code itself. Like what you can see in this code is like, as I told, you can split this code into multiple sections. First is like the endpoint where you want to target, and then like what you want to authenticate, then the payload, and then what you need to get as a response. So these are all the sections that we will go deep and we'll check everything. Okay, so this is the class by name MC email creator. And usually the class name and this particular Apex class, whatever you're creating, that name will be same. Okay. So even if you're giving a different name, this class name will be used here for the Apex class. So you should ideally follow the same naming convention. Why? Because while running this code, it will be easier for you to identify the proper Apex class. Okay, so here I have added some comments as well. Like you can see, like create email in folder. So that's my requirement, right? I need to create my email in folder. So this is the function, and it's a static void class. So it will not return anything. It will just create a email for me, right? So what are all the things I'm going to pass as parameters? It's an email name and the folder ID. So the ID, whatever we saw, that is the ID that I'm going to pass here. So HTTP request, again, this is a variable that I'm setting up, which will request the connection, right? So to establish that connection, you need to pass that API endpoints. So here you have this named credential, which we have already set up with the REST URI and SOAP URI. So for this purpose, it's an email creation, which means it is going to create an asset. So as per Marketing Cloud Engagement API collection, this is related to REST. So that's where we will use REST related named credential. And the set method here is post, right? We'll create a asset there. So that's where it is post. And set header, again, this is a standard, like we are using JSON format here. And then coming to the payload itself, here you need to capture email name, and also like it will also like contain the HTML email, right? And also the ID for that is 208. So there are different standard types of assets that you can create, and for asset type HTML email, the ID is 208. So it depends, you need to refer to the official document to get these details. Then the category. So here ID, here you can put the actual folder ID, or you can also mention folder ID itself. Like what I meant to say here is, like here you have referred one particular variable, folder ID. So same thing you can use here as well. Okay, folder ID and category ID both are one and the same. So you can use that here. And then what are all the things you can pass within that particular asset or HTML creation is subject line and HTML. Okay, subject line, whichever you want to create, you can create. So as there will be a duplicate, if I use the same name, I'll just pass a different content here. Let's say I'll just mention MC square, or yeah, MC square registration offer. Okay, so this is what I'm mentioning here. And the content, let's keep it as it is, or you can also mention what I'm using here is hello, filed automatically by Agentforce. Okay, so that is what I have added. You can see some problems popping up. So for now, don't worry about that. You can skip it for now, or I can also switch this tab to logs, just to not distract the attention. So this is the payload that we'll be passing, and you can get all this payload in the developer document itself, and you can tweak it according to the syntax that Apex uses. And then you need to set the body, like the body of that particular request. So here we are naming this entire content as body, right? So that one you are going to call here. Okay, then you are going to establish the connection, send this request, and the result will be stored in variable by name res. Okay, you need to get the status code of the result, and you are going to store that in this particular variable. It's not a variable, it is a display thing, right? It will be displayed as status colon and with a value to it. Then new email info. So if at all, if this particular request is failing, this is where you are going to get the response. So you need to store your response here. So this ends your overall Apex class. So you need to test this as well, right? So for to test this, you need to open execute anonymous window. And here in execute anonymous window, you need to call your Apex class name, that is MCE email creator dot the function that you have used, that is create email in folder. Okay, the this particular function, whatever you use, that one you are going to use here, and give a name to it. Okay, so for now, we'll again give exclusive offer. Okay, just giving a random name here, exclusive offer. And folder, I again want to give the same folder. As you can see in this function, we need to pass two parameters. One is email name and the other one is the folder ID. So I'm going to pass both of them here in the function. That's it. You just need to execute. Okay. So once this executes, you will get a what to say response from that particular code. And you can see success. The status of this particular thing is success. So it means it got connected. And if you want to see whether the payload worked, whether it created an actual content or not, you need to check here. Like you can see the named credential, all these things, right? So here you can see it is giving you status as 201. Okay, here we have some error which is showing 401. So for now, let's disregard this. We'll move on and we'll see if this gave a proper response to us or not. Okay, so here also we can see 201 as the status, and this is related to the variable and user debug. So this is important to us. So whenever you get user debug as 201 or 200, that means it is success. Okay, so even in this particular user debug section, you can see new email info and the ID, customer key, object ID, everything. So which means it got created, and the email whatever we wanted, that is created now. And you can see the entire payload that is displayed here, and the name of the email as well, exclusive offer, whatever we gave. So that is also available here. Now we need to again go back to Marketing Cloud and see whether that email really got created or not. Okay, so for that, I'll be again going back to Marketing Cloud. Okay, so we are in the Marketing Cloud section. So I'll just continue working. Here it is not refreshed, so you might not see that new email got created. So I'll just refresh it. Okay, exclusive offer got created, but whether that got created in the right folder, it was already showing earlier as well in the content builder section. See, I'll just show you once again. Okay, sorry. So here you can see the exclusive offer which got created in the right folder, right? So that is because of the folder ID or the category ID that we provided. So that is how this email will be created, and you can see the created username. This is MCE Agentforce. It's nothing but the named credential, external credential name, and also the permission set that we used. Okay, and that's an app user, right? So that is what you can see. And this is a very, very simple email. We just passed filed automatically by Agentforce, or you can give any other content to that particular Apex class. And the subject line is what we gave, right? Maybe we gave something like MC square, but this was not taken. So why? Because I did not save it. So that was again my mistake. So again, see, this is how you need to rectify the mistakes. So we'll go back and we'll refresh it and we'll come back. We'll give a different name and we'll see whether that gets updated. Here, we are not going to update the emails, which is already created. So you might not see changes to the existing email. Okay, so for that you need to again change your code. You need to add few other extra things so that you can update your existing email. For now, we are just creating new emails. So let's focus only on that. I'll now go back and I'll see to change. Again, we have changed it, but we need to give a different name now and we need to save it. So that's the important thing. If you miss to save, you will not see the actual result. Okay, and how this exclusive offer was created, because while running that as a anonymous window, in that I passed this exclusive offer, but the content was same, right? Content was available in the Apex class itself. So that's where it pulled the same details, but only the name was different. Okay, I'm coming back to the developer console and we'll open the class. Okay, I'll close some of them so that we can open the right class. Okay, I think this was our class, right? MC email class. You can see star here, which means it is not saved. Okay. So now, like I gave this new name, right? That was not reflected. Maybe I can also change welcome to the workshop. Now we'll see if this gets created and we'll give a different name to the email itself. Go to file, click on save, or else you can also give a shortcut like Control S and save it. So for now, I'm giving it this way. Okay, Control S. So now the star mark will be gone, asterisk mark will be gone. Okay, so which means now this is saved. Now let's debug this or let's test this. Again, I'm going to give a different name here. Earlier, what I did was I gave parameter like exclusive underscore offer. Right now, I'm going to give name like workshop, workshop update. Okay, or workshop exclusive. Let me give it this way. We'll see. I might skip giving underscore here. I don't know whether this is visible, but what I have added here in the running section is I am just calling this Apex class name MCE email connector dot create email in folder, which is nothing but our function name, whatever we have here, create email in folder. And the parameters what we are passing is one is string and another one is integer. So string is nothing but the name of the email, which is workshop exclusive. And ID, folder ID is nothing but a 6-digit folder ID, which we have captured from Marketing Cloud engagement. So now we will execute this. Now we need to see one more new email getting created in Marketing Cloud. You can also create a folder as well, but that is again a different class, or you can elaborate your same code. You can include a section of payload and endpoint to create folder and include email within it. Okay, so for now, I'm creating an email within a folder. But you can do it either way as well. You can create a folder and also create an email within that folder. Now I'm creating email within the existing folder. Okay, now see this name credential, it is showing 201. And then this user debug, this is also giving me some information, which means it is created. Okay, all right. So now we can see the overall status itself is 201, which is a success. So now we will get back to um, Marketing Cloud engagement again. Okay, now I'm sharing Marketing Cloud engagement. So we are in this particular screen. Okay, so we'll close this. See, it's not refreshed. So we'll again refresh quickly. You can see that folder name as well. Once it is refreshed, it will be located in marketing campaign 2026. Okay, so here you can see marketing campaign 2026 and it is workshop exclusive. Now can also go and open this particular section. Here you can see workshop exclusive and this is in the folder which we targeted, marketing campaign 2026. So this is how you can create your email without agent. Okay. So the next step is we need to connect this to Agentforce. And how we will do this? It is with invocable actions. Okay. It's not directly with the Apex class what we discussed now. You need to convert this into invocable class and then you need to use that with Agentforce. We will see that like how we will connect those things. Okay. So hope you enjoyed this session so far and you got some idea about what is Apex class and how it works, or maybe how you can make use of Apex class to create an email. Maybe similar to this, you can do any other actions as well. It is not restricted to only creation of email. Um, so yeah, with that said, we are concluding this particular episode and come back to the next episode soon. Like I'll be posting the next episode soon and come back to that episode and we'll be discussing about prompt builder in the next episode. Thank you. Thank you everyone for staying till now. Have a great rest of your day.